Hello, welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be designing a character, but it's going to be a little bit different than last time just because I didn't really want to talk while I was sketching out and I wanted to do some digital art, so I decided to refine the design on in my sketchbook and then do like a finished illustration, but it didn't actually end up finished. Anyway, we'll get to that. It's fine. So I wanted to refine like her design because I had a bunch of different like ideas, but I wasn't sure exactly what I wanted her to wear. So let me tell you a little bit about this character. Her name is Evelyn. She is the princess of the story, and she's one of the villains. And yeah, she's gonna be pretty terrible. She's gonna suck as a person. But yeah, I'm gonna make her be pretty like manipulative, and she's gonna be like super sweet and innocent, but she isn't actually going to be sweet and innocent because she sucks. Obviously, she's one of the two main villains. So since she's the princess, but she also does a lot of traveling, she's very much one of the main leaders of the country. She does a lot of the diplomacy and like the management, you could call it. I don't know what else to call it. She basically is her mother's right hand woman, you could say. So I wanted to make her very rich. Her main color is purple, and I wanted her design to be pretty intricate, but also something that could be easily traveled in because she goes around the continent constantly. So I went with this dress that is like shorter in the top and longer in the bottom, but definitely not super long. So like T-lengths, like the middle of the shin in the back, and then like middle of the thigh in the front. So pretty dramatic. But I really like it. I went for a pretty simple pose for the actual drawing. Just kind of her standing there. I tried to apply what I learned about anatomy in my anatomy video, and I do think I learned a lot. It was so much easier to sketch this out. But yeah, I had a couple different ideas for her hairstyle before finally settling on a bun on the side. And I think that's like perfect because a bun is like the most versatile other than like a ponytail, which you can braid and stuff. But I feel like it can either be super practical, or it can be super intricate and nice. So she can basically just always have a bun in her hair, and it's so simple. And also it gives a pretty good silhouette if you just look at her face. I think that's pretty cool. So yeah. I was going to like not draw hands and just like cut it off before her hands, but then I was like, nah, I should challenge myself. So I decided to draw the hands. I was doing the sketch on a couple different layers with different colors just so to make everything easier to read for when I do the line art and all that stuff. So like I didn't really specifically be like, oh, I'm gonna do like, there was no logic to it. So I was like, I'm gonna do details in blue, but like I kind of just went with it. I don't really know how to explain it, but I just kind of, whenever I felt like I needed to go on a different layer, I would go on a different layer and change the color of my brush, which I think helped a lot, doing the sketch on different layers just to make sure everything was in the place that I wanted it to be in, which was nice. I decided to add this little intricate leaf kind of thing onto her shirt area, onto her chest. I thought it would add to the intricacy of the clothing to make it look cool. Yeah. I kind of like designing rich characters so I can be like, you know what? I can make you wear whatever I want because chances are you have the money and it is realistic. But it's also fun to like experiment with, okay, what is this character for like poorer characters? What does this character have access to? And let's get creative with it. But yeah, both of them are fun in their own different ways. So then I moved on with the line art. I decided to keep it very thin because I was going to make it a pretty finished illustration. But I ended up not really doing that because I was running out of time. Because originally I was going to do 2 characters, but I didn't have a lot of time, emphasized by the fact that I have not done Inktober in like a week. Don't worry, I'll catch up eventually. I'll get to it. It's been a very chaotic week. But I really like this picture. So Evelyn, I don't know exactly how much I want to tell you about her. But I added her in when I wanted to introduce one of the dragons later. And I thought a really cool way to introduce another character on like the villain's side was to make Ruben the dragon, be her dragon because she really wants a dragon, but Ruben never actually bonds with her and instead bonds with Josh later in the book. Yeah, it isn't a huge plot twist, so I'll probably keep this part of the audio in, but I do think it's gonna be pretty big in like the character sphere of it. Like, let's be honest, when 2 characters have dragons and 1 character doesn't, I mean, there's gonna be some like character dynamics there that's not gonna be this is pretty interesting to explore with like Josh, and then also like, yeah. And also I think it gives Ruben a good amount of like character development and characterization to have like an actual arc with a dragon as a character. Like most of the dragons have arcs, but like they're usually pretty simple and not that important, you could say. Like every character is important, but like, yeah, anyway. Yeah, so I guess you could just enjoy the line art because, yeah, it's fun to watch people draw. Alright, and then we're going to start coloring. And then like I said, I was kind of going for a purple color scheme. So, and this is where I decided I wasn't going to do a full illustration with fully rendered coloring. And this is because I did this on my break at work. And I did not have time to go in and completely render everything, and that just wasn't going to happen. So I just went in, and at first I had this brighter purple before deciding I didn't really like it that much. I wanted it to be more dark and moody, and so I went in with a different color, and then I just cleaned it up around the edges with an eraser, and then kind of just made it fit the shape. And then I kind of didn't record the rest of the coloring until now. But one of the things that I did do was I wanted the secondary color to be like a goldish. Oh, my cat's messing with my computer. Hi. I wanted gold or yellow to be the secondary color, and it kind of gave off Rapunzel vibes, which is valid. I love Rapunzel, my favorite Disney princess, right there. But I did like that. So, and it kind of emphasizes that with the spikes, which also gives it a very angular shape to her design. And originally I had the leaves as green, like this light green, which you can see right here. But I decided eventually to change it to gold. I had this red color as like the edges, but as like this little design on the edges. But then I switched it around to a pink because I showed it to one of my coworkers and she was like, that's really cool. And I was like, I think I might change it to pink. And she was like, okay, that would be cool too. And I showed her 2 different colors of pink. And she was like, you should do the one that I'm doing right now, which you're going to see on the thing, me showing her the 2 different ones. And then finally I changed the leaves to the gold color. This is like when I was talking to her, because you can see that I'm not doing anything. I'm showing her what it is. Anyway, and then I just wanted to like know what she looked like. I was like, I'm gonna probably use this as a reference for when I did like describe her character and stuff. So I was like, it's fine to not have that much shading. And then I finished up the drawing, and yeah, that was it. I hope you enjoyed this. Wasn't very detailed and stuff, but I did really like to draw her. I've been wanting to draw her for a little bit. And then there's one other character that I'm gonna do that I'll probably do next week. So yeah, have a good day and tune in for that if you want to see that. Bye bye.